So this is an important topic to discuss, and uh, it's definitely an issue in society. So it's about widespread stubbornness amongst one gender. So if you notice, uh, Democrats have a higher female um, voting demographic than the Republicans. So, and prostitution is more prevalent amongst the Democrats. Okay, so and the leniency on prostitution and stuff amongst the Democrats. Um, so say every single woman. Okay, so women and men are different. A man can reproduce, thousands of times, right? A woman can reproduce maximum in her lifetime. I don't know, maybe 15 times. Um, so there's a difference there. And also, the man can, like, the women have to nurse the children. They're pregnant for 9 months. Okay, so there's a biological difference. And say that all of the women, so if one woman is not compliant, it's more detrimental to the population, to reproduction, than if one man was not compliant. So say that say that all the women are refusing to reproduce, and they're making demands, and maybe they're lying and saying that they'll reproduce if the men meet these demands, or maybe they're just saying that they'll consider reproduction if the men meet these demands. What do the men do? Okay, these demands are unreasonable. It's not based on love and righteousness. It's evil. Okay, it's uh, it's prostitution. So say the women are just not willing to reproduce. Okay, now that means we can't have more children, and the human race will die out. So what do the men do? Do we force them to reproduce? Um, are there any laws that could account for this scenario, for this possibility? This is a possibility. Okay, when it comes to decision making, you know, anything's possible. So it is possible that all the women collectively maybe collaborate, or just they're all at the same time refusing to reproduce and being evil. Okay, so um, what do the men do? Now, let's say that they are willing to reproduce, but they're only willing to reproduce with murderers. Okay, and they're making demands towards the other men that, I'll reproduce with you instead of this murderer, and I won't have this murderer come after you if you meet these demands, or I'll consider reproducing with you, if you meet these uh, demands. So, what do the men do? Okay, you know, the women are only reproducing with the murderer men. So, what do the other men do? Do they force these women to reproduce properly? Like with the proper men? Because, do you understand? So, unless you're naive, you should, like, unless you're, like, you know, unaware of things, and, like, you're just, like, oblivious and stuff, you should recognize that this stuff happens. So, what, what do you think the men should do about that? Okay, and if it's the other way around, yeah, it's possible that all the men, collectively decide to do the same thing towards the women. Now it's different because you don't need as many men. Like, if you get one man to cooperate, he can impregnate a lot of women. So, like, you don't need as many cooperative men as you do cooperative women to maintain a population. Okay. So, what needs to be done? Do we just let the population die out? Or is there something that needs to be done? Forced reproduction. Now, historically, there have been places that implemented forced reproduction. Now, I'm not saying that those were righteous nations, okay? They may have been terrorist theocracies, okay? But there have been places that have done that, you know, forcing marriages, forcing reproduction. So, obviously, you can't marry an evil woman, okay? But like forcing reproduction. Okay, you can't be like, oh yeah, I'm married to this woman, but she's evil. Like that's craziness. But um, telling you this is literally the power of the prostitute. Okay, it's why most prostitutes are female. Okay, I'm trying to address a serious issue. Now, it's just the prostitutes start freaking people out about reproduction, and they use that to try to manipulate. So, um, so like, do we implement forced reproduction in some certain scenario? Forced marriages. Why would you say you're married to an evil woman? But like, maybe if the woman comes around, she's forced to stay with the man that reproduced with her through the forced reproduction, because he's like, so like, you know what I'm saying? This is literally how you eliminate the power of the prostitute, is by implementing something like this. Okay? So, like, it's how you diminish their capabilities of destroying the survival of the human race. So this is a serious issue, and it should be discussed.